Today we will review examples of relationships in a community. First of all, we have competition, which is a relationship where individuals compete to get a resource that isn't available for everybody. For example, if you and I were two strong, fierce lions and we're trying to hunt down the last zebra in this world, we would compete to get that zebra. However, if I happen to be faster than you are, oops, I'll be having dinner, unlike you who would starve to death. A non-example of competition would be if there were plenty zebras for all of the lions, then we wouldn't have to compete. Moving on, there's also feeding behaviors. For instance, predation, where the predator kills and eats another animal. An example is a fast cheetah attacking a poor innocent giraffe for lunch. Predation is important to an ecosystem because the predators select the most vulnerable prey to balance the size of prey populations.
Scientists that study these predator and prey relationships between animals call the topic symbiosis. Essentially, symbiosis is about how animals help each other through the habits they naturally have. This might be an insect collecting food from the poop of another animal, the ticks on back of dogs, or a bee pollinating a flower. There are 3 types of symbiosis: mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism. Each one includes at least one animal taking advantage of the actions of another organism, but the level of equal help varies. In parasitism, only one animal benefits and the other is hurt, while in mutualism, both profit. In commensalism, one benefits while the other is unbothered. By these rules, the most neutral one is mutualism, when both of them are helped. For example, when a bee eats from a flower, some of the pollen rubs off on its fuzzy coat. When the bee goes to another flower for a taste, the pollen from the first flower falls on this one, helping the process of creating new flowers. Therefore, after pollination, both bee and flower are happy and satisfied.
Parasitism is defined as an organism which is a parasite that benefits from another organism, also known as a host. In other words, only one organism benefits as the other one does not and suffers. Some examples of parasites are tapeworms, fleas, and barnacles. They can all be found living off another organism. Although parasites do not necessarily aim to harm certain organisms, they do so in order to survive and grow. For example, the tapeworms can be found inside of the bodies of cows, pigs, and even humans. Tapeworms survive off the food that something consumes and therefore hurting the organism because it would be as if it never consumed anything. Fleas feed off of blood. They will attach to the skin of an animal or a human and suck on their blood, receiving the food and home they need. A parasite and its host evolve together. The parasite adapts to its environment by living in it and using the host in ways that harm it. A non-example would easily be if both the parasite and the host helped each other. In this case, in parasitism, it can only be one that helps itself to live forever while harming the other.
Hi kids, today we will learn about communalism. Communalism is a relationship between two animals where one animal uses the other animal for moving around, for its searching food, and its shelter. Some examples are how barnacles use whales to move around and find food. Tree frogs use plants for protection. Golden jackals are members from the dog family. Once it has been expelled from a pack, it will follow a tiger to feed on its remains and its kills. Lastly, the African elephants have a relationship with the dung beetle, since the dung beetle gets its food from the elephant's dung. The dung beetle gets the elephant's dung into a ball and rolls to where it will be buried. Then the beetle and its partner climb into the ball and reproduce, and the dung beetle babies are born inside the dung ball.